Hey guys, welcome to Roche Reviews. This is going to be my 2018 summer movie review video. There's definitely going to be some spoilers. Before we get into it, make sure you hit the like and subscribe and hit the little notification so you'll know when my next video uploads and help out my channel. I greatly appreciate that. So let's get right to it. Summer movies were decent, they were okay, they weren't as good as I thought they were going to be. But before we get straight to the summer movies, let's get into a couple movies that I did not review prior. Now, the reason for me not reviewing these movies individually is because they just weren't as good as I thought they were going to be, and they were kind of trash. So I'm just going to summarize them with this video. Get yourself some popcorn and chill out, and let's get straight to this. Pacific Rim. Now, I had high hopes for Pacific Rim because the first movie was actually decent. And I was hoping with a sequel you would just expand on what was good in the first movie, but they did not do that here. I was excited they had John Boyega in there. You know, I like John Boyega for what he does, his acting capabilities, not for the Star Wars stuff, but just him as an actor. I was looking forward to this and I actually enjoyed him in it, but the movie just was not good at all. There wasn't enough monsters fighting robots, and they just went a completely different direction that was kind of trash. But let me know what you guys think though in the comments. Did you guys like Pacific Rim 2? I don't think anybody did. Next is Ready Player One. Ready Player One was actually decent on a visual level. The story was okay. You know, it was based off a book. A lot of people who read the book thought they didn't really do a whole lot of the detailing as far as the story goes with this movie, so they didn't really feel that. I thought it was alright. Mostly it was visual stuff. There was a Shining scene that was in there from the movie The Shining. There were just so many pop culture references put into that movie, all combined into this little gumbo. That was really cool and very entertaining to watch visually. So let me know what you guys think about Ready Player One. I actually did do a review video on Ready Player One, believe it or not, and the audio or the video didn't record properly or something like that, so I decided not to release it. Next is The Quiet Place. The Quiet Place is a scary movie starring John Krasinski and his wife, I believe is Emily Blunt. Is that her name? Let me know in the comments. And it was a decent write. It was a decent write for John Krasinski. I think he wrote part of it, so he did his thing as far as creating this scary movie that was decent on an independent level. It just didn't stick with me. Nothing really stuck with me from that movie, so I didn't really review it. But there's my review on it. You know what I mean? There's A Quiet Place. I don't know, 4 to 5 stars, 3 out of 5, 3.5. You know, it was cool. Next is Deadpool 2. Let's get to a Marvel movie, folks. Deadpool 2. What can I say about Deadpool 2 that has not been said? If you like Deadpool 1, you're gonna like Deadpool 2. You know, it has all the Ryan Reynolds tropes in it. It has all his little, you know, gay jokes and his bad language and all the gore and blood that you love from the Deadpool series in Deadpool 2. The CGI was decent. Juggernaut was a CGI character, so you had 2 CGI characters because obviously Colossus is in there as well. It was a decent movie. I'm tired of the love story being interjected into these Deadpool movies. We saw it in the first one and we got it again in the second one. Let's not do it on the third one, guys. But let me know what you guys thought about that in the comments. How'd you guys feel about Deadpool 2 overall? Next up on the list is Solo. Solo is the Star Wars movie, a Star Wars story. Han Solo's backstory. What can I say about this movie that was good? A lot of people liked it. A lot of people enjoyed it and didn't really see too many things wrong with it. I wasn't one of those people. I found trouble with that movie from start to finish, and all the reshoots and the rewriting and the bad lead character acting all stood out for me like a sore thumb, personally. There were a couple cool visual parts that I liked, but as far as like Chewie showing up and, you know, put him down there with the Beast and gee, I wonder who the Beast is going to be, it was a little bit too obvious for me, yeah? Next up is Ocean's 8, which was decent. It was a decent movie. It's the continuation of the Ocean's 11 series with the all-female cast. You know what I mean? They had Mindy Kaling out there, Sandra Bullock, Awkwafina, Rihanna, and it was decent. Just nothing stuck with me when I left the theater. Like, oh, I want to go back and watch that scene. That was a good scene, you know? Everything was just kind of phoned in and set up to be a replication of an Ocean's 11 movie and all the things that they do without that film and how they execute those type of films. So I don't know. It was cool. That's all I gotta say. Let me know what you guys thought about Ocean's 8 in the comments. Next is Incredibles 2. For me personally, I don't have a huge stake in these movies as far as The Incredibles go. The first one was cool. I just don't have this huge emotional connection to it like a lot of people do. There's a huge cult following for this movie. But it was fun. It's a fun movie to watch, easygoing, some cool little visuals here and there. It was cool. You know what I mean? Let me know what you guys thought about Incredibles 2. Next is Jurassic World. Now, Jurassic World, when I was done watching this movie, it reminded me that this is where we need to stop.
Stop it. Get some help.
There's nothing that I walked away from with Jurassic World and said, yes, I want more of that. I need more of Chris Pratt running away from dinosaurs, or I need more dinosaurs coming back to America so we can sell them off in an auction, or I need more of the redhead, which I don't care to even remember her name right now. You know, I need her to look at Chris Pratt on awkward. I need more awkward tension between the both of them because there's no real chemistry there. You know, I don't need any of these things. So I don't know. This next, I don't need to see Chris Pratt either be somebody who he's not. Like, him as this character in that movie is just not anything I want to see. It's not him. It's not a likable, really, character. It's just like a generic character. You know what I mean? I had a very tough time with that movie, and we all love these movies. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not a hater on Jurassic Park. I like Jurassic Park. I grew up with that original Jurassic Park movie. I still think it's the best one. So I'm rooting for them, but they have gone AWOL, and they need to stop. Next up is Ant-Man and Wasp. Ant-Man and the Wasp. Here we go. MCU. Let's get into it. This year was very interesting because we got Black Panther, Avengers Infinity War, and then we got Ant-Man and Wasp. It was a fun little movie that didn't have too many stakes, you know, and we all knew it wasn't going to have stakes going in, but we still expected a little bit more than I think it gave us, or me personally, I still expected something a little bit more. But I did enjoy it. You know, Wasp was out there doing her thing. It was cool to see her get active, her actually have, you know, show her powers. You know, she has laser beams or whatnot now, or proto beams, whatever you want to call them. And she can fly and shit. All that stuff was really, really cool. Just overall, I expected a tiny bit more from an Ant-Man movie, considering it's part of the MCU and these movies are so big now with so many moving pieces nowadays. The villain just wasn't anything either to write home about. And Michelle Pfeiffer showing up and explaining the whole quantum physics thing at the end. It was just a little bit like, oh, we'll go along with it because we already got two really good MCU movies earlier this year. So you know what, we're gonna just take this down, drink it with some water, and be good and go to bed, right? Next movie is Sorry to Bother You. Sorry to Bother You is a political / cultural movie starring Lakeith Stanfield that takes place in Oakland. And it's a very interesting movie. It's definitely part of what I'm calling like the new black renaissance of movies nowadays, where it's like, you know, starring black actors and black directors, just like Get Out and Black Panther as well. I guess it can fit in that category as well. But more or less, movies like Sorry Not to Bother You and the Black Klansmen and stuff like this. But it was decent. I dug it. We went a little bit AWOL towards the end of the movie. If you guys haven't seen it, they take black men and turn them into horses at the end of the movie. So that was a little weird twist where I felt they didn't really need, but I appreciate it. You know what I mean? I appreciate what they're going with that. Check that out. Let me know what you guys think about the comments as far as Sorry Not to Bother You. It's a lot of movie to process. You know what I mean? When I was done watching it, I really felt like I needed some energy. You know what I mean, to replenish my mental and my physical. It was still a fun movie nonetheless to watch. To see Lakeith, do his white mannerisms and his white voice over the phone, played by fucking David Cross, I believe. But let me know what you guys think about that in the comments. Next, Mission Impossible 6. Here's another blockbuster summer movie that I actually fell asleep during. Not to say that it was bad. There was just a lot of dialogue, and it was very comforting for me for some reason. It just put me back to bed. I did not see the previous movie, so this is probably part of the disconnect. Rogue Nation, I believe, is Mission Impossible 5, and this is kind of like the sequel to that. You know, the same villain was in it, and they had to figure out stuff and that had to do directly with the previous movie. So I didn't get to see that. I don't know what they did in that movie, but if you liked Rogue Nation, definitely check this one out. And I heard it makes total sense, and it's a great film. Overall, for me, it was cool. There was definitely a lot of cool set pieces and locations that made the movie feel huge and made it feel like a Mission Impossible movie, which I love. You know, I mean, I grew up with the original, you know, the original in the '90s, and you know, I just kind of didn't have the huge connection to this one particularly. But that doesn't really mean much because I didn't see the previous movie, so I was kind of out of the loop on that. So let me know what you guys think about Mission Impossible 6. Next up is the Black Klansmen. Now, Black Klansmen is a Spike Lee movie based on true stories, you know, real events of a black police officer infiltrating the KKK, and using his white voice over the phone. Now, so that's 2 movies this year where we're exploring the ideas of black people using the white voice over the phone. So I find it very interesting that we're sharing these stories and exploring these narratives nowadays. It's very cool to see on film. So that's about it for this year. I got Venom to see still, and Predator to check out, and Mandy. We got Aquaman still coming up, though I'm not excited for that bullshit. We're still going to probably check them out and then review them. So make sure you like and subscribe and check those out. If you want to check out some of my other videos, just go ahead and click right here. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Peace.